Welcome to Poul'sKitchen. This is Chef Paul. Before we begin, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Check our website, www.Pouls-Kitchen.club. Check out our Patreon page. Really important information this week. Today we're going to be doing some Baked Ziti. Here we go. It's an Italian dish. It's really good. Yes, we're using the wrong noodles. It is what it is. I blame Amy. Look at the mess she made. Just for this, I'm just going to eat her portion too. But this is going to be an amazing dish. We're looking forward to eating this. It's going to be really good. So please stay tuned for our Baked Ziti. PoulsKitchen. This is Chef Paul. With me is my beautiful, wonderful wife, Chef Amy. Today we're going to do some Baked Ziti. Yes, you heard me right. Baked Ziti. I've never heard of it before until this week. Amy and I subscribe to a channel called the 4 Levels of Cooking, and it's something really good. Look it up on YouTube. They make some amazing dishes. It's where they have 3 different chefs. One home cook, a level 2 would be somebody a little bit better than a home cook, and then level 3 is a full-blown chef, and they make the same dish just differently, and then they decide, and then a food scientist explains everything and why. I can't do it justice. It's one of the best shows on YouTube. Check it out. So we're going to make some Baked Ziti. We're going to try to do it the best we can in my particular form. Amy's very excited, and the reason is it's kind of almost like a different form of lasagna. So we're going to make things a little bit differently than what they would have. We're missing some of the ingredients that we wanted, but that's kind of my fault, not Amy's. So I forgot, not her. That's me bad, not her bad. So I still think this will be really good. So just to let you know before we begin, please like, share, subscribe. Go to www.Pouls-Kitchen.club, and please also check our Patreon page. Just to let you know, from today's date, which is March, what is it? Do you remember, Amy? Amy don't remember, but it's important. So give me a second. From March 19th until April 20th, any proceeds we get on Patreon, we're going to donate to a worthy cause in the Ukraine to help with the people who are suffering because of what Putin's doing. I'm not going to sit and say that I'm totally against everything in the world, but there are some innocent people out there who are suffering. So anything that we get donated on, we're going to put towards a cause that's going to help the people of the Ukraine. I'm not going to sit here and talk politics. I could care less about the politics, but I think Amy will agree with me on this one. It's the people who have to suffer the recourse of everybody else's decisions. So that's what we're planning on doing. So before we begin, there's a few things that we're going to let you know. Number one, a lot of people are going to use lamb. You can use lamb, pork, you can use beef, you can use chicken. So we cooked some chicken wings. Yes, it's not the biggest amount of chicken in the world, but it's really good. It has a nice amount of fat to it, nice flavor profile, so that's what we're using there. We've already cooked this, so that's already cooked. So make sure that's been cooked and cooked fine, because if you don't, you're going to have another really huge issue. It's called food poisoning. You don't want to do that, right, Amy?
Right.
Perfect. Amy knows what she's talking about. This part is my fault, not Amy's. I was supposed to ask her to go out and get ziti noodles, and I forgot. I thought we had them, but apparently we didn't, and that's my bad. So we're using spaghetti noodles. You can actually use any kind of noodles, but ziti, or what's the other type of noodles, Amy? Any of the round...
Rigatoni?
Yeah. Anything else is fine. I don't recommend spaghetti noodles, but it is what it is. Like, again, my bad. We'll have to deal with it, but you know what? Not a big deal. I've got two bowls that we're going to be able to stick in the stove. Now, we have an issue with the stove, so we're not using it. We're using a toaster oven, so we're using that. So, before we begin, we're going to get some olive oil. I always recommend extra olive or extra virgin olive oil. It's my favorite type. You can usually get some different flavors on this. This one's just, you know, plain, nothing spectacular, but it's really good. It works really well. So we're going to make our meat sauce. Chicken has already been cooked. If you're going to use beef or even ground turkey or ground lamb, you can probably do this in a step. So I've used a couple of really big onions. You can tell that I really like my onions. Amy does too. And I made the big mistake of opening my big mouth a little bit too soon, and Amy's all fully aware of what my plans were. And when you're asking, what are you talking about? I was going to make some caramel onions for Amy. You can only imagine her look on her face when she heard that I was going to do that, because, yeah, that's pretty nasty. How do you feel, Amy? Nice big bite of a caramelized onion?
No.
Wouldn't be too happy with me, would you? Who's the king of April Fool's Day, Amy? Who's the king? That's right. Amy just got off of doing some work. She did a little bit of overtime for us today. I go back to work, not this coming week, but the week after, so I'm really excited. Very, very excited, because I really want to go to work. I'm actually starting to feel 100%, which even the last time I was on leave of absence, I wasn't really this good. Now I'm really darn good. So we're going to put some onions in here. We're going to start sweating them out. I'll blame Amy on that one. Alright, so next step, we got some garlic. So we're going to cook this for a few minutes. I don't necessarily want them to caramelize. We don't need to go that far. But we do want them to cook down a little bit. When you're cooking your pasta, cook them as per the directions on the package. Now, with that being said, don't fully cook them. Because when all said and done, we're going to mix everything together, and then it's going to be baked. So we don't need to actually fully cook anything. Chicken I would. Turkey probably too, just to be safe. You're better off doing that. Like, you know, always, no matter what, always fully cook everything, but it's going to bake in there. So we don't want the noodles overcooked. And when you're done with the noodles, I'm not even going to rinse them, or pardon me, I'm not even going to drain them. I'm going to take them from here to there, and then but if you take them out and you want to drain them, that's fine. Do not rinse them at all. Do not. I'll tell you why. Because when you rinse the water off of that, it's going to make it harder for the sauce to actually grip on. You want the sauce to grip onto the noodles. That's a very, very important part. So it's very important. Do not, for any reason, and I can't say that enough, do not. I'm going to dump some canned tomatoes. Love canned tomatoes. They're one of my favorite things. It's almost like we're making a marinara sauce. And then I've got some tomato sauce. So you honestly want your sauce to grip properly onto your noodles. And that's a very, very important thing here. You want to give it a good mixture. And if you don't give it the chance to grip and stuff like that, it's not going to taste the same. It's not going to be as good. So this is pretty important. And in fact, if you don't, Amy's going to go hunt for you. She really will. Like,
no.
You don't want Amy to hunt for you. Like, honestly, you ruined my favorite dish. How could you? She will.
No.
She says no, but really she will. I'm just going to turn the volume up here, or the volume. Going to turn the heat up a little bit here. You don't really need to use a whole lot of oil, because a lot of people, when they're making marinara sauce, they'll pump. I know they will. They will pump the living daylights out of the olive oil in here. You don't need to do it. You really don't. Okay, now I'm going to dump the chicken in. Like, seriously, guys, just don't do it. Then we're going to start putting some spices. Now, you know me and Amy right now, it's all about economy cooking. I mean, honestly, this dish doesn't cost a whole lot, you know, depending, like we already had chicken, right? But I mean, depending on what's cheap, right? You can do this with beef, so you can get away with making this in a budget. Really, it's not that expensive. Noodles aren't that expensive. They're pretty, everything on this is pretty cheap. The most expensive thing you might put in here might be cheese.
Yeah, probably. And even that you can get on sale.
Yeah, like
sometimes.
Like, honestly, if it's not on sale, Amy and I don't eat. Like, sometimes we can be so fussy. I'll eat instant noodles for a week if we have to. I'm joking, we don't do that.
No.
Just because we have wine, and neither one of us really drink that much. Because it's an Italian dish, we want to have a little bit of wine in there. And if need be, what we'll end up doing is we're going to, we may cook more noodles. We may have to, right? So I'm going to put in, for spice, we're going to put in some allspice. Now, if you have a really determined regime of what you like to use in your marinara or your sauce, by all means, do what you want. I'm going to put some ground cumin. I know what Amy thinks, but we're not going to go there. I got white pepper. Amy's being a little silent today for some odd reason. I think she's mad at me. Smoked paprika. She won't say anything.
I'm not mad.
And then we're going to use some roasted garlic ali from Epicure. Amazing company, by the way. Amy is going to be getting back into this. We just haven't had the time or the extra stuff that she wants to use for it. And then I'm going to use, I don't know why this is out here, but Amy wanted it, pizza spice. So
You used that this morning.
no, I didn't.
Yes, you
You
did.
put that out there, so don't blame me for your silliness. Now, cheese, you can use a lot of different cheese. I would recommend having a container of ricotta. Ricotta is really, really good. Really, really good, but it can be a little costly. We don't have any this week. It is what it is. We're already using just cheddar. I've already chunked it up right there. We'll be putting that in a little bit here. Some mushrooms, because Amy said if we don't have mushrooms, she's going to riot. So.
And I got those on sale.
I would always use fresh mushrooms. You don't have to go out and spend like for the most expensive mushrooms in the world, because believe me, they're out there and you can buy them. And chances are this is not going to look like your grandmother's ziti. It just isn't. I tend to put a little bit more on there. I watch some recipes and see what other people are doing, and the mushrooms is a little bit different, but you know what? I think it's good. I think that an Italian would probably enjoy to have a little bit of mushrooms. The only thing that no one's going to enjoy is the fact that my wife's going to be here for like an hour tonight doing dishes. But she asked for this, so I don't care. Yes, I got some sweet pepper in here too. Why? I've never seen a recipe with it, but we had a sweet pepper left and had to get eaten or it's going to go bad, so...
We might as well.
You know, I'm not going to waste it. It's just not going to happen with us. So I just want to have this nice mixed, and I want to have this just simmering for a minute or two. Don't need to go crazy, because a lot of this stuff, this is going to cook in the oven. I've already got my toaster oven preheated, so that's all good. So I've got this in here, so alright, I think we're good enough. And now, what do I want to do here?
Probably take that.
We're done cooking here. Now, when you're doing something like this, it's really important, and I'm really not joking around either. It's very, very important that you make sure that whoever's around you is aware of what you're doing.
Because it's hot.
It's hot, so it's like, you know, hey, get the hell out of the way. Hey, heads up, you know, give them a little bit of warning, because if you don't, it can get pretty dangerous.
Yes.
And I do mean really dangerous. So, now, as big as the kitchen we have, it's still not big enough for what I want to do right now. And that's fine. Heads up.
Yep.
Amy knows what we're doing, so it's not that I have to worry about her. However, your wives might be a little different. So, it's been in here. I don't have to worry about having a little bit of pasta water. It's not going to kill anything. But we're not going to rinse, because that would not be good. Remember,
It'll dry it out.
it'll dry it out, and the sauce is just not going to grip as much. It'll still grip. Don't get me wrong, it will grip. But it will not grip as much as you're going to want it. And that's a very, very important part. Now, this would work a whole lot better
If it was ziti noodles.
ziti noodles or anything else.
Macaroni.
Yeah, crab dinner. You know, but whatever it is, what it is, this is not going to be a deal killer.
No, it still tastes good.
It still tastes awesome, I think. So, it's got a little bit more in here, and I think at the end of the day, what this really is more of a,
Lasagna.
it's like a kind of a lasagna, but more of a, I don't know. Could have made a better marinara sauce, that's, for sure. But again, I don't have everything I wanted, and it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain.
It'll still be really good.
I still think so, yeah.
Yeah. It smells good too.
Also having a lot of noodles, and don't worry about making too many at times, because you know what, this is going to be so much leftovers. It's going to be great for the week. It really is.
Oh yeah.
And Amy likes that because nobody wants to sit there and cook a big large meal every day of the week. Can you do it? Absolutely can.
You can, but why?
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have much better things to do with my time. I'd just rather, just heat a small thing up and not have to worry about cooking every day. But, to each your own. There's some people out there that actually enjoy to do that. This would look a lot better if we had the right noodles, and I get that, so please don't shoot me. Lasagna would have lasagna noodles, and ziti has more ziti noodles. And yes, it is a thing. If you go to the superstore or grocery market or whatever, you'll see it. It's there. Just not as common. I never even heard about it until this week, but I know they exist. I have seen them. Just saying, I just didn't know what the heck it was. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain. It is going to be great still. This is going to be a little bit more unique. If you want to make your marinara sauce, you can go and buy it too, right? So, you can do that. And maybe I should have.
No, homemade's always better.
Homemade is, but unfortunately it just doesn't, I don't know if it's the right. You know what? Amy and I are going to run up the store and we're going to grab some a bottle of sauce, tomato sauce, so I can have a little bit more in there. So we'll be back in about, give me about 30 minutes and we'll be back. Welcome back. So we just got back from the store and I just got this Garden Select. It's like $1.25, so it's cheap. I don't care. It's an addition to, not the main thing. So it's just not as much as what I wanted, so that's why we're using that. And when I said we ran to the store, I actually made Amy run to the store. I should have made her put a little deodorant on after her shower or something. Like, holy crap. Amy, what the heck, man? You smell bad. Alright, so this actually looks a lot better now. What do you think, Amy?
It looks really good.
And some of you are going to comment, you didn't cook it. You're right, I didn't. However, with that being said, yes, you're right, I didn't cook it. Okay. Captain Obvious. However, the reason we didn't cook it is because, again, it's going into the toaster oven for 15 minutes. It's enough. It will cook it there. Now, with that being said, Amy's going to be into cooking quite a few of these because, again, I don't like the oven we have because we don't really know how it works because it just doesn't make any sense. Now, when you're making a lot of this means that you need a lot of cheese. Do we have a lot of cheese for this? No,
Not really.
we don't. So it's going to look a little bare for it, and that's fine. If you're going to make a really good bit of this, buy a huge, maybe 3 or 4 blocks of cheese and some ricotta. So I'm just going to put And by the way, don't go out and buy cheese that's grated. Don't ever do that. Like, seriously, don't. It's a waste of money. It really is. Like, it's a rip-off. You're actually not getting the same amount of cheese as you would if you did it yourself. You're getting less. And the reason is that they're charging extra for them to do the work for you. It only takes a minute to grind. It doesn't take that long at all. It's actually simple and easy. So it's a waste of your money. So don't ever do it. It's just not worth it. Do it yourself. It's not really that hard to do, and I'm just going to give this a good little mixing in here because it's got the cheese in here. I want to make sure everything that we have here should have an equal amount of cheese so that it's has a chance to everything has a chance to fully So I'm going to put that in for 20 minutes. And then what you want is make sure that you have racks. This is going to need to sit down for a little bit. Not everybody's like Amy and can handle having things just wolfed into your mouth without warning. And believe me, she'll do it. So again, we're going to take this. 15-20 minutes should be fine. Let it cool, then you should be good to go. Like I said, we're not using our stove, so this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Amy gets that. Grease your pan a little bit just so that you're not getting anything really sticking, because that really sucks too. I'm cubing everything instead of just grating. Yes, it is a time factor thing as well. It technically is. However, with that being said, this is all going to melt and go in anyway, so I don't know it's going to be too much of a difference. Maybe it will, but this is the first time I made it, so it's not like I have a whole lot of experience with this dish. We'll make it the one time, and you know what? Depending on what we feel like, we'll go from there and make it again another time. When I actually have the money for it, I'm going to get some Italian sausage and make it with that. What do you think about that, Amy?
It'll be really good. And obviously ziti noodles.
Yeah, well, obviously. But I still think this is going to be really good. And again, the whole reason we're not going to make sure that everything isn't 100% cooked right now is because there's no reason to. It's gonna fully cook in the oven when we're done. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scour the kitchen, look for more things that we can contain another thing so we can stick it in there, because it's gonna take quite a while to get everything done anyways. And in 20 minutes, when that's done, we're going to call it quits for the video, and you'll get a good point on there. So we'll be back in about 20 minutes. Welcome back. This is Chef Paul. We are done our ziti, and this has actually turned out really good, methinks. Amy got some other stuff to put in the dish or the sink so we can clean it before she forgets, because I forgot to. So she's a bad cleaner some days. You'll have to forget her. I'm only joking. So this is our baked ziti. It's really good. Again, I know it's the wrong noodles. It is what it is. So at this point, there's really not much left to do here other than grab something to actually scoop it out with. And there's scoop some out here, and that's basically it. So, like I said, for the rest of the month, please check us on like, share, subscribe. I do that all the time because I know a lot of my people of you don't subscribe. It helps us out a lot when you do. So please subscribe to our channel, like the videos. That does help a lot. www.Pouls-Kitchen.club. Check out our Patreon page. Like I said, until the 20th of April, all funds that are donated to us will be going to a worthy cause, and we'll let you know more information soon on where it will go to, but it's to help the Ukrainian people who are suffering during this catastrophe that the Russians are causing. So please like the video, and please help us out, because we'd like to help as many people as we can. But that's our Baked Ziti, and this is going to be really good. I'm going to eat this, but because Amy's been a bad girl, she's not.
No, I'm gonna eat it too.
We'll catch you later.